Today we're going to talk about installation of a radiator hose adapter for a Glowshift water temp gauge in my 99 SI. When I bought the car, the temp gauge on my gauge cluster didn't work, so I couldn't tell what the temp of the engine was, so I had to get an aftermarket temp gauge, which I chose to buy from Glowshift. My first thing to do was to find a port to get the temp of the coolant off of. This down right here is the coolant temp sensor for the computer of the car. The only problem with going off of that port is it does more than just send the temp of the coolant to the computer. It also sends info on the air-fuel mixture depending on the temperature inside the engine. So I couldn't go off of that port right there. So I got this adapter off of eBay. I got it off of DT Moto. It's a 28mm radiator hose adapter, which I sized to match up with the inlet of my radiator. Really easy to install. I cut an inch section out of the radiator hose coming from the engine all the way up to the radiator. Cut the sides off, popped it in, put these ties down to make sure it was secure, straight, no leaks. You got to make sure there's no leaks because when you turn the car on, your radiator system pressurizes to raise the boiling point of the water so it doesn't evaporate inside the engine, because that would not be good. After I installed that, I took my ground wire, ran it straight down. I got it mounted onto my mounting block for my condenser fan and my condenser. The power line I got zip tied off there. I have it running right up the side. I have a hole that goes through the firewall and right into my compartment, which you can see on the top left right there. Really, really easy to get through. After I got it into the compartment, I zip tied it off up there, make things look real nice, real clean. This is the Glowshift water temp gauge right here. When there's no power to it, it's completely black, which I like. It looks really nice. When you turn it on, it has a blue LED glow to it. One of the cool things about the Glowshift temp gauge is that you can wire it up so whenever the headlights come on, the lightness and the bright coming out of here will drop 30%, so it's not blasting in your face at nighttime. So what I did to hook that up, I got into my fuse box right here. My power line for the gauge is this one right here. This is for the my head unit. So anytime the head unit comes on is whenever I start the car. There's going to be continuous power to that gauge. And this one right here, this is for my dash light. Whenever the dash light comes on, this will drop the light of the gauge 30%. I got all the wires running right up the side compartment right there. Coming up through right into my gauge pod. This gauge is extremely accurate. I love it. I'm so happy with it. That's what it looks like without the light on. Whenever you turn the headlights on, the light dims. Headlights off, headlights on. And that's how you install a radiator hose adapter and a Glowshift temp gauge on my 99 SI.